When somebody comes into treatment, they are all in different stages of change. Every once in a while, I get the privilege of seeing somebody where things just have finally clicked. It takes several moments of clarity to reach that one ultimate defined moment where enough is enough. We have been providing treatment specifically for substance use disorder since 1993.
A lot of times a child has to experience life. Sometimes they have to learn the hard way. However, a parent can do whatever they can to do a prevention or intervention on their child.
Offer support and love, and if they want treatment, be willing to help them if you can and be supportive, but we can't enable that lifestyle, and the easier we make it, the longer they're going to probably stay in their addiction. And I know I've had a number of people go through treatment that said, and not blaming their parents, just saying, I wish my parents wouldn't have enabled me as long as they did.
I think the cure for addiction is a cultural shift in how we treat each other, and how we support each other, and how we look at each other. I think far too often we judge each other, and I think we don't take the time to see how life is through other people's eyes. My name is Athena Naranjo. I took on the responsibility of being an owner of a treatment program to ensure the quality of treatment is delivered for those who are in need of treatment. Partial hospitalization, which we refer to as PHP, is our highest level of care. That level of care is usually a very short length of stay. It's meant for those who don't quite meet the criteria for residential treatment or detox, but their symptoms are not as acute to where they'll be able to stabilize in an outpatient setting. The length of stay and frequency is anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks of treatment. It's 5 days a week, 6 hours per visit. Once our participants are able to complete the PHP level of care, we transition them into our most common level of care, which is referred to as IOP, intensive outpatient. Our intensive outpatient level of care can be anywhere from 2 to 3 months of stay. The frequency and duration is based off of a clinical assessment. The participant can attend anywhere between 5 days a week to 3 days per week, 3 hours per visit. Once they complete the IOP level of care, they are eligible to participate in our aftercare program for a minimum of 1 year. We also provide education track. The education track is specifically designed for somebody who does not meet the criteria for an IOP level of care, but they notice that their substance use has started to impact and affect their life to a degree where they want to obtain some information, education to prevent any further progression of substance use disorder.
Right now, I'm the president and founder of a company called Resume Scribes. I also am legal counsel for Genesis Programs, and we also enjoy a joint partnership, Genesis Program and Resume Scribes. The interesting thing about Resume Scribes and Genesis joining together on this joint venture is that, for many of Genesis programs, their patients or customers, if you will, getting a job after you graduate from their program is probably as important as the first 2, 3, 4, 5 steps of the program. And the reason I say that is there's nothing more depressing than not being gainfully employed. It can literally determine your state of mind, whether you're coming from a recovery program or not. So the importance of this union, of this partnership between Resume Scribes and Genesis, is that we ultimately will be the final leg in their recovery, if you will, meaning we're going to help them navigate the job market, the job search process, the interview preparation process through mock interviews. We're also going to help them have a bona fide resume that tells their professional story. And most importantly, we're going to help them to not only raise their level of consciousness about who they are as a professional, but we're going to help them to be able to articulate that in a very succinct manner and in a manner that gets them whether a job offer or an interview.
Someone who accepts your insurance may bill the insurance company in an out-of-network benefit, but Genesis is in network, which means that we're a qualified provider and we have set rates that we've already established with the insurance company. This allows for billing to be consistent. You'll know exactly how much you need to pay out of pocket, and the amounts will not change. There will be no information that's misleading, and you'll have a clear understanding about what the cost of treatment will be from the very beginning. If somebody doesn't have insurance, there's two things that Genesis does to alleviate the financial barrier. One, we do partial scholarships up to 50% off of the total cost of treatment. The second thing that Genesis does, we also offer in-house financing. In-house financing allows us to be able to put together a payment plan anywhere from 6 months to a year once treatment has been completed. This in-house financing is interest-free, and it really is focused on allowing you to be able to pay affordable payments and still receive quality treatment.
It was around when I was 13 or 14, and you kind of find yourself trying to pick and choose your friends. And also at the same time, you know, you're not really worried about what you want to accomplish at that time, but what people you want to hang out with.
I wanted to fit in.
Wasn't a popular kid in school, and it made me forget about all that.
You know, like, oh yeah, everybody else is doing it, so I'm gonna do it.
Friends were doing it.
I just wanted to jump right in and have fun. I did drugs because it seemed like it was fun.
It was the cool thing to do.
The cool thing to do was to get high, go to parties.
Growing up, you know, you struggling.
Couldn't deal with life, so I didn't have to deal with life.
I wouldn't listen to anyone.
I was stubborn.
Like as a rebellious thing.
This is what the rebel kids were doing.
I just wanted to see what it was like.
I started experimenting with it.
Experimenting with friends.
First tried it because I was bored.
I was always up to try something new.
You know, when I was growing up, we had this program. It was just say no, just say no.
People are just saying no, but they're not saying why. It's like telling a person no and then they go do it.
Sparked my interest on drugs.
I knew that they were bad, and I always heard about this addiction, but I didn't know what it meant.
That's probably the #1 reason why I did drugs in the first place. I just didn't know.